El objetivo de este documental es compartir mi experiencia trabajando en Sheppard Robson, un estudio internacional de arquitectura y una de las 5 firmas de diseño más galardonadas y reconocidas de Reino Unido. He filmado 10 días el proceso creativo durante un concurso de arquitectura, el diseño de un proyecto de oficinas de más de 50.000 metros cuadrados en la ciudad de Leeds, Inglaterra. Este film muestra todas las fases del proceso de diseño, herramientas, conversaciones, reuniones, decisiones, todo lo necesario para transformar una idea en un proyecto real. Mi nombre es Lucas Arellano, soy arquitecto y así trabajamos. En la revisión del diseño, el líder del proyecto explica el programa y presenta al equipo revisor el proyecto existente. Tras la explicación, hay una sesión crítica, un taller en el que el equipo sugiere ideas o maneras de mejorar el proyecto.
So we did it was for 2 office schemes. Basically, he's now decided to go to a competition. I've been told it's just right now. And where we are, we've got a week, 10 days to do this. I think this is about really the public realm and the aesthetic, the building, what do these things look like, how can we make them, you know, what's the architecture of them, and it's very confidential, this site, because they own the triangular shaped site now, they've bought that, or they're in agreement. The other site, they are in negotiation. This is the site here. We were asked to look at 2 offices on this site, and then afterwards we were asked to look at residential and hotel on this bottom portion of the site here. We'll probably show the options at the hotel and the resi, but we'll concentrate on the visuals for an office scheme. Because the one is the residential doesn't stack up, the hotel doesn't stack up, the hotel residential doesn't stack up, the office is the one that stacks up, but the city have said they want some mixed use on this scheme. A public realm in the middle of the site, closing off the road that comes around here, making that all public access. Vehicles come up here, go into the back of the site here and go into a basement car parking. It means we can slightly reconfigure some of the ground floor elements on that. The principle was around the back, into a basement access, all around basement access, and then maybe like cycle access off the main square down into the basement, showers, the whole kit and caboodle for well-being. An office entrance off the public space to the corner into what is central core, same over here, office entrance in with retail units around, and then as I said we can slightly reconfigure this. This is the cycle superhighway thing. So it's quite a dense site, and you can imagine the question about the public realm is how usable, how much sunlight, daylight we're going to get into that public realm. Lucas, after the meeting, they said, oh, can we have an image? Now you can see. So Lucas, we just pulled together this. It could look like this type of thing. As a matter of fact, we went back and forth with a few images.
When was this?
This was Christmas, January. It's difficult. It's not going to be an easy site to develop out.
How much?
Oh, it must be. Ours is 500,000 square foot net more. You know, there must be at least 300,000 on theirs. So, you know, 800,000 square foot of net space. Can we look at potential ideas about carbon zero, carbon neutral, low energy efficiency? So,
I think it's got to be, I mean, if we're going to dangle sort of net zero, then I think we should move away from the sort of glassy, you know, effectively kind of modular.
It's all about form, and it's not about glassy, it's got this profiling and shaping and articulation.
You also mentioned that...
Sketch out! I'm open to all sketches everywhere. Yeah. Richness about it, it's not a big glass box. It's, you know, it could be a terracotta, it could be in metal.
I think you're right. At the top we make it bigger again. And maybe there's just some, those are like flush. There's some big recess, like a restaurant or something. But then at the top you have a terrace. Now whether it's behind glass, like on top of whatever.
I think what we do is, I think Lucas is get the thing modelled a bit and then have a look at a few views and see where we can see it and what we can see from it. Ground level, Photoshop-y. It's quite like a cool, loose type of image or two, and I think that would really help get a feel for the scheme.
Tras la revisión, Tony quiere tener una reunión para fijar los principios generales de diseño y la estrategia a seguir. Entre estas dos reuniones tengo tiempo que uso para revisar las oficinas diseñadas por Sheppard Robson, intentando encontrar precedentes que puedan ser útiles para nuestro diseño.
The triangles that we've got, you make it tight radiuses around here, flatten the back off, so we make it feel like that sort of flat but organic shape, so that you end up with this type of radius, but keep this very rectilinear. So on elevation you've got a series of same aesthetic, it's just that it's integrated in here on the facade. 3 metre unitized module over 3 stories, and then they've got glass, and then they've got some thinner ones, then they've got some bigger ones. But in its section, it's like it's got a top and a bottom to it, and then the next one comes along, and it's you're almost pretending the glass doesn't exist. It's just the vertical solid elements and the vertical thin elements. So it looks like you're doing the same thing there, but there's nothing there. You're getting the depth from, and the same down here. So in elevational terms, you've got 2 or 3 stories, same as that, 2 or 3 stories. It just depends on the work proportionally for these. If it works with 3, then we'll make it 3. If it works with 2, then we'll make it 2. If it needs 4, we'll have to look at it, because otherwise it really is driven by what the proportions on the floor plan. If that's 3 meters, then 750, maybe 250, so roughly 50%. Okay. 40% is solid. It's the same principle of this facade we'd apply to this, but we might be a bit more rational, 500, 1 meter, 500, 1 meter, and let it wrap all the way around. Once we've got that thing, the body of this working, we can just stretch it and add it and bring it down. And what I think might work better than the idea that there's this rectilinear box in this sort of organic form, I think it might be better if that rectilinear box goes all the way to the ground, and this more organic, shaped form goes within it. And becomes the ground floor and the first floor, rather than
to be in the top of the other.
Yeah, it's not 20, 30 stories high. It's 16, 18. And it's quite a big floor plate of it's 15,000 square foot. It might feel a bit like, I feel like a building on this site in this corner should hit the ground. So I would say for now, at the minute, it's modelling almost everything above
that one,
level 3. Some of these sketches are really,
I think,
really good to keep.
Anyway, I will stand up there.
Could you do me a favour also? Send me a link to the presentation.
Okay.
Well, just a link to where the file is, because I want to see. I want to print the presentation and think about, rather than getting to the end of next week and saying what have we got.
It's better to see what we.
I'm going to format it so we know what we should present.
Okay. Una vez que los criterios generales de diseño están claros, dibujo y modelo el cuerpo principal del bloque 2. Necesitaba acabar algunas tareas pendientes en un proyecto anterior, así que solo tuve tiempo de hacer un par de bocetos para asegurarnos de la proporción correcta entre hueco y sólido. Ambos edificios comparten la misma estética. Para la composición de la fachada del bloque 3, uso el módulo de fachada del bloque. Al final del día, Tony trae nuevas ideas para la base de los edificios, proporcionándome bocetos y explicándome sus ideas para el espacio público.
And if you push the glass back though at the lower two levels, so what it'll look like is like a sort of mini colonnade. So you'll get like a deeper shadow on this one, and it's drawn on the plan. Where actually, yeah, probably where it hits, isn't it? Plan. Behind, and when it comes out from the glass, and here you just get the frame over those two stories. You won't even get the glass. It just gives that sort of feel of it being the same but different to all the rest of it. You know, shows all that consistency and everything for the facade. This bottom bit will have the same panel rhythm, but they'll have no panels on. This is just a big double height void.
They use the same principle for the other buildings.
I think so, because the only difference with this building though is everything is coming out. I think once we've got the shapes in, the form, we can then just sit and sketch. And because of the geometries, because these geometries are different, so everything is different. It's really difficult for me to sketch it right.
So yesterday I didn't have time to model this properly, so at the moment I created this.
Siguiendo los croquis de Tony, he modelado las envolventes de las bases de ambos edificios.
Is that right at the face of the glass?
It's 200.
How big is that? 4 meters?
Yeah, I keep the same. I think these two buildings are close in the model.
Okay,
Very close.
we need to make sure that we need to move it again. Get the plan scanned in.
Yeah, I have it with the cutter on top. So
The one that I sketched.
yeah,
Have you put that in?
Yeah.
And is this it in that position?
close.
Okay.
If you want, I can show you.
But it's better you get that sorted out, and then we'll have a chat about this. So
Okay.
it's more important. I'm trying to show that the colonnade, or the main elements, come down, so you get a bigger shadow. So in these areas, you almost bring in some of those panels down. Okay. Same here. Because you just put the panel down like that. Yeah. But some of them will give them some depth. And then the glazing will be back here, you'll get some shadow. But that first, and then second, the glasses back. I think rather than trying to make it perfect, you might be better just look at it and we have a quick tweak it. Same principle, come in, entrance reception. This is a void going down, so the staircase, if you're in the bike. But then you come in, there's a secure barrier here, up the escalators, and all that ground floor is the WeWork technique. The escalators will bring you up. There's a reception desk here, you can come in that way, and then into the main core, and then you're up the building and whatever you want to do.
Is that retail as well as that?
Yeah, this is retail as in a coffee shop. Plant at the back, and then when you get to the rooftop floor, well, it's full floor plates all around.
Yeah. With the exception of what is around there and what is arguably around here, everything else is just like glazed walls.
Yeah, the minute you see
You
glazed,
see straight through.
and then when we come to look at it, we can work out whether there's too much glass. So if you do a patterning arrangement, do like a rhythm. Like a 3 metre module or something, or whatever, doesn't mean 1 metre, 1.5 metre module, so you can just see that the guy's really interested in the imagery. That's all. I want to show that it broadly works.
You might not get the opportunity in the meeting is take 1, 2 or 3 views, do a little QR code thing. You always take it to the meeting, get them to scan in off the screen on the phone, and they can just move it around. It's the VR thing that they can. You don't need a headset, but they can just all get the phones out, snap the QR code, and every image we create, we could do one of those for.
And they can pan around it.
Yeah, like 360.
Oh,
You got you don't pan around that side.
No.
I will make it from this side. I put a big tree in that side.
What it sounds like to me, if this guy, I'll just love it. That'd be great. Okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Normalmente suelo producir los visuales y las animaciones para los concursos, pero debido a la alta carga de trabajo y una fecha límite muy cercana, Tony decide externalizar 2 de las imágenes principales, una imagen aérea del proyecto y otra desde la autovía. Para eso Neil produce un documento en el que define la materialidad del proyecto para que sea enviada a los visualizadores.
Office 1 and calling Office 1 taller building. Black painted glazed spandrel panels, mid-light to warm grey to all spandrel. Glazed terracotta to all vertical solid panels plus bay frame. On this one, glazed terracotta to these solid panels, green 2. Black painted glass panels to these. Glazed terracotta to these solid panels and bay frames in green 1.
In the middle, yeah. Well, today is Wednesday night. It's been a long day, and today we have to spend the day modeling the ground floor in base of the principle, like Tony said yesterday. Today we have been coordinating with the visualizer to send all the information necessary. Sally joined the team and is working in the internal layout of the ground floor. Tomorrow we are going to develop the ground floor, and from that we can review with Tony and Neil, and we can decide what's the best step to take. Well, it's 15 to 10. We have 3 days to finish this competition, this visual. My computer is frozen in the middle of the rendering. I didn't save in the last 2 hours, so I'm not sure if all this progress has been saved. I'm going to leave the computer working during the night, and let's see if tomorrow we can recover the information. If not, I will have to ask the IT people to help me with this. Let's see tomorrow if we can get everything done. Well, it's Friday night. This morning I couldn't recover the file. The IT people was busy, so I decided to reboot the computer and start again. So these kind of things happen. And today we have spent the day modeling the ground floor. This weekend the only task that really we need to do is develop the landscape and produce the final image, but we are working with escape, so in the time we have everything modeled, it's going to be a straight process to try to coordinate all the information that is coming from the landscape architect, visualizing everything. Probably we are extending the deadline until Monday night. Always there are many things to improve. So I'm happy with the result. I'm happy with the week. I think we have put a lot of effort. Yeah, it's good. I'm happy. Well, it's Saturday night. We have left 2 days to the deadline. I think it's not normal to come here to work on Saturday, but I prefer to finish everything properly. I don't want to be in a rush on Monday, so I decided to come here. I spent the day modeling the ground floor and the public realm, setting everything on the context, because we are not sure exactly if we are going to receive the landscape information on time. So prefer to model a proposal, even if it's our design, and after, if we have time, I can swap my proposal to the landscape architect. This is the result. A quick volume I have designed. I made this quick image to share with the rest of the team, and let's see what are they thought. Next task probably is going to be develop the context, add some people, put trees, put some plants. If I have time and we decided to go for a night shot, I will have to put some lights on it. Let's see, because probably Tony doesn't agree with this idea, but I think it can be a nice shot. We are in a good position to hit the deadline with good quality information. Happy. Let's see how it's going the next 2 days. Let's see.